Hola, hola, hello, good day, my creatures of the sunset. How are you guys doing today? I hope you can hear me well. Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo están todos? Mis Infernians. I'm just waiting for Instagram to notify everyone that I'm live. Hola Enrique, ¿cómo estás? ¿Te invito con la cuenta de Enrique Palafox entonces o con la de El Señor Fox? Hello, Figueiras. Hola, José, ¿cómo estás? Hello, no way, Jose. You should all go check No Way. No, not No Way. You should all go check Jose Lacera. He's the one who helped me with the Sacrifice music video. He's an amazing and very talented videographer and photographer. Enrique, te voy a invitar entonces ahora. Enrique. Esperando a que Enrique se una. Oh, ok. Wait, cancel. Ah. Enrique, te invito. Ahora sí que sí. ¡Hey!
Vamos.
¡Hey!
Fantástico. How are you?
Genial. Hey, Enrique, how are you doing? Nice to finally meet you. It's an honor to have you here. Just so for everyone that is watching and they will watch later, how I got to you. I remember someone posted in a Dracula Facebook page that I follow. I think it was Dracula's Myth and Legend.
Yeah.
And they share one of your live readings with Dacre Stoker. And I was like, okay, hold on, what's this? And I started watching and I was like, amazing. There's so much that I didn't know about the story of Dracula and Bram itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's get into it. And para que sepan, también hablamos español aquí. El amigo Enrique es de México. Así que, Enrique, te voy a pasar the floor now para que te presentes, digas lo que haces, cuál es tu gran conocimiento sobre Drácula y, por favor, please.
Gracias, querida. Y hagamos esto raro, ¿no? Que se haga
Ajá.
en inglés.
Sí, obvio.
Precisamente, pues toda esta gente que nos pueda conectarse, nos pueda escuchar. Well, thank you, Laura. This is a very exciting moment for me because I need to tell you, this is my first Facebook, Instagram live.
Mm-hmm. You've always been live on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I'm always alive on Facebook because I'm kind of old, you know, and Facebook is an old social media network. So I'm stuck in Facebook. And because of Dracula's Place, which is my Facebook page, is hosted, you know. So it's a more native format for me to be in Facebook.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, I mostly do lives here on Instagram and they work pretty well.
Yeah, I know.
Just put this closer to me.
I know.
Okay. So, who are you? Where are you from? When was the first time that you got like intrigued by Dracula and everything behind it?
Sorry about this. Let me, yeah.
Oh, you're checking?
Good. Yeah, I have like an echo all over the place. Sorry about that. Well, my name is Enrique Palafox, and I'm from Mexico City. I'm a scholar in Dracula, but I have so many ways to study Dracula because I'm a graphic designer who happened to design toys in Mexico for a big company which is called Sabritas. You may know it as Frito-Lay or Lays. In all over America is very well known. And I used to work for them designing the tazos, which is like a pogo. In the United States are called pogo. There is a trading card, but in plastic, you know.
Okay.
And they were inserted in the chips And I normally worked with a license like Pokemon or Star Wars. So I was very into entertainment very early in my career. That was 20 years ago. And I continued my career in advertisement and in licensing. And then suddenly, I teach in the at the university at the Universidad Iberoamericana in Mexico City since then, from 20 years ago. I teach creativity, I teach graphic design, I teach advertisement. And my car in Mexico, normally we handle two jobs. My part job was teaching, and my other part time job was doing advertisement and conceptual stuff. So I managed to handle both careers, one in the academic side and one in the more practical side of the profession, you know. So I began to study Dracula in a master's degree in which was in communications, because I was always being very drawn into Dracula movies, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
me
bet
too.
I can bet you have some of them. Which is your favorite one?
Ooh, it's such a hard question, but I have to put number one, Coppola's movie, Bram Stoker's
Definitely.
Dracula.
I'm a,
Then I have to put like second two movies, that is Nosferatu and Nosferatu the Vampire, that is the remake of
yeah,
Nosferatu, that I
yeah.
love so much, so much. I like the photography, I like the music, everything. I find it way creepier than the original
Yeah,
Nosferatu.
yeah.
And actually, those are my, and of course, the 1931 with Lugosi, Dracula from Universal Monsters. So those are my top four Dracula movies at the moment.
Completely agree
Yeah,
with you. I'm completely agree with you because those are like how do you say it? Cornerstone of the movie.
yeah,
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 yeah. And I was drawn into movies from in 1992. I really loved the Francis Ford Coppola version.
yeah.
It was so rich in visual elements, and I, as a graphic designer and drawn to entertainment, I was so into that version. But at the same time, I was questioning all the time why it has never been the original text truly adapted into media. And
Exactly.
sorry.
Why? Yeah,
What?
no, go ahead.
You know, because this version of Francis Ford Coppola, although I love it with all my heart, is I can say is the most faithful adaptation slash the most unfaithful adaptation at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of things that I really don't like. Now, after I got really into the books, because I watched first the movies when I was very young, and then
Yeah,
I got into the books, and then I read it again and again and again.
yeah,
They never show Mina as she is in the books. They
yeah,
never, except there's a show, a Dracula show, not the one from Netflix, but it was from BBC.
yeah. Like
Was
the 70s version.
Yes,
Yeah,
and actually they show Mina as kind of similar as in the book. Not exactly the same, but they show her like a powerful woman, super smart, super driven, and she was like telling everyone how to defeat this demon.
yeah.
And they don't show that in the movies, but I think I'm spoiling everyone if you haven't read the novels. I'm sorry.
I, I, I mean, at this moment, it cannot be a spoiler. I mean,
Yeah,
this year is the 124th anniversary of Dracula. So at this moment, this is not spoilers,
yeah,
guys. You need to keep up with
yeah.
your,
Everyone
no,
has to keep up.
yeah,
So that's one of the things that I really loved about that old live reading you did with Dacre,
yeah,
because the ending, the other ending, like the real ending of the
yeah,
book,
yeah.
blew me away.
Yeah.
And knowing the real location of Castle Dracula, I was like, I have to go there.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Do you know if they already have a path to go there? Because when
Yeah,
Dacre goes
nowadays
there,
is more easily travel to Transylvania. I actually met Dacre traveling. I did a journey. How it was 4 years ago when we traveled to Transylvania, and we did like the most important sightseeing of Dracula. We went to all the both the novel and both of the historic sightseeing, you know,
yeah.
and because it's a mixture, and it's very curious because in Romania, Dracula, as we know it, is not the same character, because for
Mm-mm.
them it's um, a local hero, you know, and it is not attached to the Dracula vampire myth, because Ceausescu, the dictator, who run the country until the 90s, he prohibited the entrance of the text. So no one in Romania had access to the Bram Stoker text. So it's very interesting because it's a mixture of all things in Transylvania, because some of the Romanians are aware of this, and they are starting to trying to catch up with the
Mm-hmm.
world. And we as a tourist, we are coming for all over the place, going sightseeing. So there is a very big, I can say it's a huge Dracula tourism out there, but I believe it's more is bigger in England, which they have very located spots from the novel. So Dacre for me is a very interesting guy, because he doesn't only owns the name,
Mm-hmm.
but he is a very well known researcher of Bram's work. So he knows everything about Brahms. And here, when a scholar in Europe found the actual location of the castle described in the novel, Dacre took a flight there, and went to finally to establish the actual location described in the novel, which is very clear.
It's
Yeah,
shown here. So everyone, if you don't know about this beautiful book that is falling apart right now, well, actually, I didn't know about the existence of Dracula
yeah,
until I started watching your live readings with
okay,
Dacre,
yeah,
and I gotta say that I was very scared.
yeah,
I was reading this at nighttime before I was going to bed, and the Dracula from that book is very different from Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it's different also from the Dracula the Undead book.
yeah,
And it says there it gives you gives you coordinates of the location of the castle.
yeah.
So how does this begin? Because Bram Stoker didn't really got inspiration from Vlad Tepes to write the character of Dracula. That's what I have like in my head. That came later.
Mhm.
So how they connected the dots from the Dracula from Bram Stoker to Vlad Tepes that are like, how are they connected?
Let me go back
Yeah.
to my profile, so I can establish the connection, because we already talk about movies, but
Yeah.
this is very important. This is what you're talking, and which is very important. So when I finished my master degree in communications, and I'm being a teacher, the next logical step for me was a PhD, and I wanted to have like this multidisciplinary point of view of Dracula, because I was very, very, very into Dracula at that moment in my life. In that moment, I began to search the internet for conferences or scholars who I can contact to start collaboration, and I came to the name Dacre Stoker, and he was at that moment during a tour with one of his lectures, actually a wonderful lecture which is called Stoker and Stoker, in which he talked about his relations with Dracula the moment he began reading it. It's amazing story, because he the first time he read Dracula was with the original copy signed by Bram.
Oh, oh my gosh,
Oh my God!
exciting.
Talking about
Ah!
connections, you know.
Yeah.
So he at that moment a Congress, the Dracula Congress takes place like in this time of the year, because the novel starts next Monday on the
Yes.
3rd, and the anniversary of the publishing is on the 26th of May. So this is a very important time for Dracula. So at this moment, 4 years ago, I managed to travel to Dallas to this Congress, which the Dacre was a lecturer there. So I only participate as a watcher,
Okay.
as an audience. Okay, so I established contact with him, and with this easiness of the internet, we began to establish contact. I invite him to my Facebook page, which is the first adaptation of the unabridged text of Dracula into social media. I began to start questioning myself, what can I do myself to adapt fully the text into media, and which media was in my hand at the time was Facebook. And Facebook is a very good media to adapt Dracula, because you have images and you have text, and you can program it, no, so you can read it in real time. And as you well know, Dracula is an epistolary novel who happens to between May the 3rd and November the 6th. And it doesn't have like a one linear narrator. It is, there are several different letters, there are several different telegrams, and even newspapers, notes. And in that way, you can construct the narrative that can be very easily adapted to Facebook. So me as a graphic designer, in my input to the mythos was to illustrate the full novel and adapt it into the Facebook. So I was doing that in that moment. So Dacre began to follow my page. He liked the way I adapted his family's name into the media, and bringing up the original text, because as we can talk, it has been lost in time.
Yes, it's true. Yes.
Because, yeah.
No, go ahead. Go
ahead.
No.
Because I can go on and go on and go on. So please, let's do this like.
So when you started that first time doing the live readings, you weren't connected with Dacre. He found your page, he liked it, and after that you started doing this thing together.
Yeah.
Oh,
I started by myself, and I started actually in Spanish.
Yeah, actually, I remember I had to like go back in time and try and watch all the episodes.
Yeah.
And I actually had to read the novel again after watching what you did with Dacre, because it completely changed the way I was like reading it. It opened my mind, and I could see all the little details in there
Yeah.
now. So that how it happened. So he kind of found you on Facebook, and you started working together. How was that? What kind of person is Dekre? I mean, is it good? Is it easy to get in touch with him?
Yeah,
How
definitely,
flexible was
definitely.
him with?
He's a wonderful guy and a wonderful. I mean, he doesn't have the title, but because he's not attached into the academy work, but I
Hmm.
can consider himself like a scholar, because he knows about his family. He is very interested in bringing Stoker's novel into the public, because
Yeah.
as I told you, Bram's work is kind of lost in time, because of the media, the power of the media. The moment the text was attached to the movies, people got this.
Enrique, I can't hear you. Yeah, I can't hear you. There.
and and
I can hear you
in a
now.
way, yep.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Um, we didn't start collaborating at first, so I did it in my own way for 3 years actually. Two of them,
Uh-huh.
it was in Spanish, and the third year was on English, and the fourth year was when we began collaborating, and we collaborated only for 1 year, which
Uh-huh.
was the last year. This year we're not going to collaborate together, but we are still in contact. Last week he gave a lecture at my university, and we're still in contact. But let me go back.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met in Dallas, he invited me to one of his tours in Transylvania, and
Okay.
that in that moment I was applying to my PhD, and I was accepted in literature. So I really wanted to go there to have these insights in first hand, in
Mm-hmm.
the primera mano, because I had been in Transylvania like 11, 11 years ago.
Oh,
I was
long,
invited,
long time ago.
yeah, long time ago. I was invited by my sister who lived in Spain. So traveling from Spain to Romania was very easily, no, and that first time for me in Transylvania was awesome, because I had the opportunity to read the novel in the places who
Oh my God, that's
place. Yeah,
exciting.
I was. I mean, it was the Bram Castle. It was not this castle that later Dacre
Discovered.
covered, but in that moment was the Dracula Castle, Bram Castle, which is the touristic castle right now.
Yeah, it is. It's not the real Dracula castle. So where is Dracula Castle in real life? Like the location that is given in Dracula,
Mhm.
it is a real location, and they, for what I've learned in other interviews with Dacre and stuff, that the coordinates were like up, they weren't like correctly. They had to like reverse it. So in that way, they discovered the exact location of the castle,
Yeah,
and there's no castle in the location of the castle.
there's no castle,
There's no castle.
only a location.
But yeah, but please, I want you to tell people about that I found really exciting,
Yeah,
because everyone thinks that Bran Castle is Dracula's castle, which is
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Buenari's castle is the castle from of Blood Tepesh, but the real castle from the novel that everyone knows, it's not a castle.
and and it isn't actually Black Tepesh Castle. Vlad Tepes actually only used it for one night, and that's
Yeah, he was, I think it was like a guest or something, or
yeah,
they put him
and
in
that's
prison
it.
there, but he never
But
lived there.
it is called the Dracula Castle, but because one of the books who Bram Stoker consult for his research of Dracula happens to have the illustration of Bram Castle.
Of Bran Castle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that is the inspiration for the visual outside of the castle, and that is why it is called Dracula Castle, and that is
yeah.
that's
It's
it,
just the visual, but
only
it's not,
visual.
but
But
locally, like physically speaking, it's not there.
we can talk about three different castles.
Yes,
This
please.
one is the first castle, which has
Yes.
the visuals. No,
Hmm.
whenever you see Castle Dracula represented in some way, this is the origin point.
Yeah,
Okay,
Bran.
so the second castle is the known castle who happened to be found by Hans de Roos. Hans de
Yes.
Roos is a scholar of Dracula who lives in, I believe, in Thailand, but he is a European, but he lives in Asia, I believe, and he's a wonderful scholar because he not only discovered this, but he discovered that there is a translation in Icelandic
Oh
who
yeah, he was the guy who discovered that version. Oh my God, I haven't read that yet.
you need to read it because
Uh,
it's amazing.
Actually, I have it. I
Yeah,
have it like it's on its way here,
yeah.
but it's taking forever.
It's
So
amazing. It's amazing because definitely it's a collaboration between Bram Stoker and I lost the name of the translator. Uh, Amut Amut no, I really lost sorry about that. But
no, it's okay.
the thing is that uh, they both collaborate in a supposedly translation of the entire novel. No,
From
but
from English to Icelandic, right?
yeah, but it's a complete different story.
It's a different story. Actually,
Complete different story.
you won't find it as Dracula anywhere. You'll find it as Powers of Darkness, I think is
The
the
power of darkness.
Power
Yeah,
of Darkness is it is supposed to be the Icelandic version of Dracula translated, but it's a completely different story. So if you want to read that, guys, go do it because it's not Bram Stoker's Dracula.
it
So
only shares like 30% of the actual book that you and I read, but
yeah,
the other 70% is a complete new story.
different.
Yeah, and that
And
is important because it happens to be Count Dracula in the same castle in the
uh-huh.
same location, but
Okay.
with an expanded universe,
Oh,
and that
man, I
is
want that book to arrive right
that,
now.
and that is what hooked my attention when I entered my PhD, because my research focused in this transmedia of Dracula, because I was wondering why the original text wasn't being translated uh, or
Yeah.
or adapted into any media, no, in faithfully manner, because I read the novel when I was drawn into the Dracula when I was very young, very child, because my father wanted a boy who was into literature.
Nice.
He
Nice.
wanted an educated boy. So he
Enrique, sorry to interrupt you. Aquí nuestro amigo Pablo dice Vladimir Admutson.
Vladimir Admundson.
That's
Yeah,
the
thank
guy
you,
who helped Bram
thank you. I
translating.
I
And
had like
sorry,
a
Lira
Mutsen. I had a Mutsen in my head, but a Mutsen was
Amundsen.
another historic character who managed to lose himself in the Arctic or whatever. I didn't want to confuse them, but Yeah,
Yeah, it was Blood Money. And Lira, The Power of Darkness, yes, that's the title of the Icelandic version of Dracula. So if you want
yeah,
to read it, highly recommend it.
highly,
So
highly.
we have Bran Castle, that is like the visual part that Bran had for Dracula's castle. We have this crazy location that is mentioned on Dracula, that is not a castle. And what would be the third castle?
Slane Castle in Scotland.
Slane Castle in
Yeah,
Scotland.
because Slane Castle was visited by Bram. And
Yes.
Bram normally visit each location of the novel, except the ones in Transylvania.
Yes.
He never traveled to
He never
Transylvania.
went there.
He never went there, and that is amazing because he described it very faithfully.
As if he was there.
Yeah,
I thought he was there, but he never
definitely
did.
he
It's
never did.
crazy.
But he got the information like in a book which is called The Land Beyond the Forest, which is the translation for Transylvania. Trans, beyond, Silva, bosque, woods, and Bania is the land. So the land
Okay.
beyond the forest is the meaning of Transylvania. So this Emily Gerard was I guess I can guess she was a spouse of a politician who was to live into Romania. So
Uh-huh.
she took notes about the folklore. As you know, because you are from America, uh, uh, there are so many mythos and folklore, no,
Yeah.
around, and Romania is very similar. I can manage to establish very similarities between Romania and Mexico because we have these very ancient traditions and folklore, and Emily Gerard took notes about everything that she went there, and she managed to do a great investigation. So
Hmm.
Bram took all of his notes from that book and other books from the time, and that is why he traveled to Transylvania, but he actually traveled to Whitby, and and
Hmm.
and he went there for a vacation, and he took very precise notes, and
Yeah.
went to this Slane Castle.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
Slane Castle is the same description of the inside of the castle.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
So Bram,
oh my
so
gosh.
Bram
Okay.
Castle
Okay.
is the outside.
Okay.
Slane
Okay.
Castle is the inside,
Inside.
and the non-castle is
Location.
the location.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
Slane Castle is amazing because nowadays it doesn't have the roofs, the rooftops,
Yeah.
because in England you need to get rid of it because of taxes.
Oh.
So
Didn't know
so
that.
we have there are so many different pictures from above because of drones and whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you can
Okay.
see exactly the same description that Bram made when Jonathan arrives into the castle.
In the castle. Oh my God, that's amazing. Is Dacre still doing those tours in Transylvania where he takes
Not at this
people
moment
to, of
because
course,
of
no,
COVID,
but after
but
COVID,
yeah,
let's
definitely.
imagine we are in a normal world,
Yeah,
which we're not.
yeah,
But is he still doing those
yeah,
tours? And how
yeah.
can you get in one of those for next
Oh,
year?
the, the,
I
the
want to get one
moment
of
the
those.
moment it reopen, I guess he will start. I mean, I cannot speak
No,
for
of
him
course,
because
of
I
course.
haven't speak. But the last
But you
time
did that tour, right?
we talk about not that tour because I did not go to this Newcastle
Oh, okay.
location because that is a much newer. I went with Dacre 4 years ago, no, and we went to the important places, but this discovery was made 2 years ago.
Yes, actually, yeah, it was
Yeah,
discovered 2 years ago, and
yeah,
I remember he telling you live on Facebook,
yeah.
and he showed you pictures on how many hours it took them to get to the real location of Castle
Yeah.
Dracula,
Yeah.
how impossible, almost impossible was to get there.
Yeah.
And when they did, they put a plaque that
Yeah.
says this is the real location of Dracula's castle from Bram Stoker,
Yeah.
and it has a plaque in a rock, on a rock, but there's no castle. So people, you know, now the real castle is someplace else, and it is described based on Bran Castle, and the castle in Scotland is crazy and it's amazing. It's unbelievable.
But
One of the
there's another. There's much of it because
no, of course.
the location that Hans Roos found because of this inverted coordinates. They're very precise in the Bram's work because, as you well know, we talk about Francis Ford Coppola version, which is the most faithful because he's the only one of in the movies, not in television, but in the movies, who adapted in a manner the novel. We can see this episodic narrative in the beginning when Jonathan Harker is traveling there. We can read the letter, and we can see this episodic kind of thing. But that went lost because the Coppola movie attached Dracula to an ancient love, a lost love.
Yes.
That never happened.
Never happened in the book.
Never happened. So the novel, Dracula cannot. It is not a romanticized figure. It is not a seductive figure. Actually, it's a very scary character because we need to understand that when Bram described his vampire, Bram has several instances in his life who inspired him to write this character, but mostly he happened to have in his mind a corpse who can risen from the grave.
Yes.
So this is not a sensual Dracula.
Oh no, not at all. That's why I say that I'm looking this way because I have all my Draculas here.
Yep.
Of course. That's why I say the Draculas from each book, from Dracula, and oh my God, this one is so good. Dracula the Undead, they're all different.
Yeah.
Actually, the one from Dracula the Undead, it shows finally that romantic side. The I'm here because of love, and the story about him and Mina, and it's so odd. I really liked Dracula the Undead. It's very gory, the way the characters died, and I thought it was Dracula until it's revealed it wasn't Dracula, but, sorry for the spoiler, Bathory was involved in it. So in this book, it tells you why Dracula went to England the first time, why London. And I was like, shit, did that really happen? Because if the reason why he went to London was because of Bathory, shit, it changes everything. But I didn't like the ending. It can't end like that. I mean, no way it can. Sorry if I'm spoiling everyone who hasn't read Dracula the Undead. I always wanted Mina to be turned into a vampire, and it sucks that she died. Sorry. She can die, and I'm sure she's not dead. None of them. Not him, nor Dracula, maybe Bathory, I don't know.
That is what it is very relevant about Dracula, you know, and that is actually the main focus of my research as a doctor, because what I study is the transmedia of Dracula, who, in my study, Bram's work is only a change of different and several authors who expanded and create a narrative universe of Dracula. Nowadays, we are so amazed about Marvel, who is constructing this huge narrative universe, and you have the movies, and you have the comics, and you have the television shows, and you have the memes, and you have the toys, and you have and each one of these individual efforts are expanding the narrative. But it happens to be that Dracula was there first, and and
Yes.
that is my research. That is my specialty, because when I started to question why Bram's work didn't manage to get into the media. So first I came with his wife. I need to start
Yeah.
research his life, and his relations, and trying to establish the what inspired him to write this novel. And in a way, this is a complete mess, and it is very, very important, because you need to understand that Bram was not a writer.
Yeah, it's true. Was
Definitely.
not a right. I mean, he was, because he was doing reviews,
Yeah, yeah.
theater plays reviews. So
But
he was,
but
but
he
not
wasn't
a
that
book
skillful.
novels writer. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't that skillful. But in my point of view, he was a media manager or a content creator,
Yeah.
as you are doing right now.
Yeah.
Because he first of all, he knew about copyright.
Yeah.
And copyright, that was a very new issue in that time, because in that time there was no brands. No, it was the beginning of the 20th century, and
Yes.
the 20th century was a money maker century.
Yeah.
So the copyright issue became very relevant in that moment. So he was very aware of that, because he studied laws at
Yeah.
school. Then he entered to the theater, and as a manager of a very cruel guy who was Henry Irving. And
Yes.
Henry Irving, I can guess he was insufrible. How can you translate
Um,
insufrible? Ins-
Unbearable.
Unbearable, you know?
Yeah, he was
Picture this
terrible.
guy. Picture this guy. He was the top actor of the top
Theater.
of the top theater of the top empire of the world.
Yeah, he was very big, and he was, yeah.
So he
It
was,
wasn't, he was a diva, let's say that. He was kind of a diva, a lot of egos involved, so he didn't
yeah.
make it easy for
I mean,
Bran.
there are a lot of Instagrammers who has a huge ego.
Insufferable, says Lira.
Insufferable.
Probably
Thank
Lira. I
you.
think insufferable could be the word. Yeah, thank you.
Insufferable. Thank you. Thank you. And picture that, but in this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So he normally runs with the royalty. So he normally managed to establish. So he was a very self into guy. So
Yeah.
he happened to found in Bram the best combination that he could have, because Bram was a fan of him. And I can guess, and because of my readings, and because of my actual experience in the media, that he didn't have a good treatment from
Mm.
Henry Irving.
Yeah, actually,
He,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
he
no.
was, yeah,
No,
sorry,
I
sorry.
was going to say that, yeah, that's shown in Dracula the Undead.
Yeah,
He, it's not Irving itself, but as I don't know if everyone that's watching here, but Bram got inspired in real facts and people to write the
yeah.
novel. Okay, go
That
on.
is important, because Bram didn't came up with this thing. He steal things from everyone he could,
Yeah. So
and
that's
that
why
is
when it
important.
came out, it was like, this is real facts.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, it's scary because the shipwreck happened and everything
yeah.
that is told in the story really happened, but in a Dracula way.
So he is not a good writer, but he is a good content creator. So he made a 7-year long research about Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
So he found what we talk about the Transylvania issues. When he went to Whitby, he found the Demeter, which was the shipwreck that actually happened, that later became the Demeter, which is
Yeah, the
mostly the same
Demeter.
name,
Yeah.
and the locations, the people, and actually there are some speculations that in a way, and I can be very certain of this, Dracula, the Count Dracula of the novel, is inspired in Henry Irving.
Yeah.
And let
It
me
is
tell you
inspired.
why. Because if we think in Bram Stoker not as a writer but as a content creator, because he was um, pursuing the copyright of his novel because he was a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So before he published it, he registered in all fashions in Europe, on England, not in the United States. That is important. But in
Okay.
England, he covered all. He managed to cover all the copyrights. But uh, the first appearance of Dracula is not in the novel. It's 15 days after in a play.
Oh. Oh,
because
right. Yeah. In the
he
States.
was the manager of that theater,
Yeah.
and he took all the actors and he adapted the text to a play only to grab the copyright of the place,
Oh, that's
of the
smart.
play of the play no of the place
Of
of
the
the play.
play.
So that
Nice.
that for me that is important because he was pursuing the copyrights before having like a contract.
Okay. Okay. Well,
No,
that's yeah.
that is important because he invited Henry Irving to portray Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I can tell that Dracula is very inspiring in his character.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Henry Irving, as insufferable as he was, he
Yeah.
told, "No way, Jose, this is dreadful."
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that really like caught my attention in your live readings with Dacre is that the novel Dracula doesn't begin on page number one.
Yep.
That there's several pages before that are not
Or
included
lost.
that are lost and then are not included in this novel
Yeah.
here. So I think it starts on page 101 or 102, this
Yeah.
book. So
Yeah.
what happened with the previous 100 pages?
Uh,
Where are they and where people could find that? I mean, if you guys are all interested in this.
the beauty of Dracula is as we were talking about just a moment ago, Bram took precise notes of each of his references.
Yeah.
But the problem with his notes are his writing, because his writing is terrible.
Yeah, I saw the images. Oh my God.
It's
How did Dacred manage to read
no,
that?
no,
How did they do it?
it wasn't. It
It
wasn't.
wasn't him?
They have
Okay.
no, no. Yeah, yeah. It was the most famous scholar, which is called Elizabeth Russell.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Yeah,
hearing her name
Doctor
several
Elizabeth
times. Dr.
Russell.
Alice.
She spent long years, and I believe with Robert 18 Bazin, which is also
Uh-huh.
a scholar, and they translate each of the notes.
Wow.
But that happened only on 2012. So everything wrote about the inspiration of Dracula before 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It's only speculations.
Oh man,
That is
that's
very
big.
important, and that is my research, because that is also transmedia. Because let's say there is a notion that uh, Bram Stoker inspired his Count Dracula in Blood Tepesh.
Yeah.
that notion came from a research in the 70s, no, who as they don't have the access to the notes,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a curious thing, they don't have access to the notes. They speculate because of the of the novel, who when Dracula talk about his past,
Mm-hmm.
that is something that Bram steal from another thing and managed to put it in there, but he didn't inspire it in blood.
No,
That is for sure.
no, that's later. I think it was
Very very
in Search of Dracula or something like
in
that.
that
That
search
yeah,
of Dracula.
there they kind of said, okay, so yeah, it got inspired on Blood Tepesh, but it's not really Blood Tepesh.
No, it's not really blood
But
tapestry.
now it makes sense. I mean, all the movies, Dracula Untold is based on Blood Tepesh and everything, how he becomes a vampire and everything.
Mm.
But I remember when I was very young, when I was like 16 or 17 years old, that I was like doing my own Dracula research.
Mm.
I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. My
No, no,
cat
no,
just
no,
distracted me.
no
Sorry.
problema.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
go.
no.
Anyway, so
Let's go back
let's
to
go.
the
Let's continue. Yeah.
this expansion narrative that the Dracula has offered, which is the my expertise in academics. So I began to study these diversions
Yes.
that the story took from Bram's work. So in a way, I'm seeing Bram's work as a huge chain, as a huge section of
Mhm.
this long chain of creators who are creating that we are creating the myth,
Yeah.
as we
The
are
myth
speaking
and the
today.
legend of
Yeah,
Dracula.
because
I sometimes really wonder if Dracula exists, if he's something real.
yeah, that is good because Bram um, attached several real things
Yeah.
into
Actually, I think it's him, honestly, because of the way he died in Dracula.
yeah,
And everything written in Dracula and part of Dracula the Undead is
yeah,
real facts.
yeah. In a
Dracula is
way,
in a way.
in a way, Dracula by Bram Stoker is the Blair Witch Project of his time
Yes, yes, it's true.
because it's like a mockumentary.
Yes,
No?
everything is written in letters,
Yeah,
telegraphs,
yeah.
and there's no.
And you as a reader have access to the same documents that the characters wrote, you know.
Yeah,
So
because
it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like a very it's una experiencia muy sumersiva. ¿Cómo lo dices?
ay,
How
no
can
sé,
you say?
pero sense.
Submerging experience. It's a I mean, because this breaks the fourth wall in different manners, because you are reading what Mina wrote,
Exactly,
what
back
Mina
then.
back then.
Yeah,
So
it's
in
like,
a way, you are part of the story.
yeah, absolutely. And I always try to change the ending. He never
Yeah,
dies.
yeah. But
Anyways,
let's go back. Let's go back to the copyright issues.
yeah,
So
please.
when Bram was alive, and he lost his job the moment Henry Irving died. So
Yes.
the his last days, he was very driven into pursuing a certain amount of royalties of his work, because in the moment he published it, Dracula wasn't nor awful, but it wasn't like a huge bestseller.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
true.
well received, or whoever managed to grab a copy and read it, they grab a positive review. But it was very low profile. It
Yeah,
was Bram, the one who did the work of giving his life to his novel because of copyrights. When he went to United States because of the the tours of Henry Irving,
Mm-hmm.
he started to began the process of the copyrights in America, but it was very different. So he needed to adapt it, the novel into newspapers
Oh.
before he can publish
Oh, I
the
didn't
book.
know that part. Okay.
So he did that. He did the adaptation. This is awesome because it's like a serial reading. It's very similar in American of what I'm doing on Facebook, but 100 years ago. So he managed to publish a couple of adaptations into newspapers into America, but he didn't finalize the little details, the little small letters in the contracts.
Yes.
So he didn't finish the copyright in America. That is very important. But
Yes.
he died in 1912. No, trying to bring his novel into the media, into theater, and Henry Irving wasn't willing to do it. So he went into the newspapers and translated. He translated into the other idioms in Europe. So he was trying to keep his story into the media somehow. When he died, the cinema wasn't that developed at that moment, but I can bet if the cinema was very more developed,
Mm-hmm.
he definitely will be the one who adapted his novel into the cinema. But this is the transmedia of Dracula. But when he was dead in 1912, his widow publish one of those lost pages that you told
That I was talking
just,
about.
and those lost pages, some of them, there are not all of them, there are 141 lost pages, but this is a lost chapter which now it is known as Dracula's Guest.
Dracula's Guest. Yes, exactly. So if someone that has never ever read Dracula by Bram Stoker, should they begin with Dracula's Guest, or they can go just jump into the novel and then just read the other books just for research or because they are interested in?
In my opinion, you should read first Dracula and later Dracula's Guest, because as it is not as polished as we would
Mm-hmm.
like, it can confuse the
Oh, okay.
reader.
Okay. Okay,
No,
perfect.
but
I understand.
having knowing this, you can read Dracula and then Dracula's Guest as a souvenir. It's like when you put a DVD and
It's
put
like an extra.
the extra
Yeah. If you want to know
content.
if you want to know what happened before Jonathan is start reading, I mean, we start reading Jonathan's
Yeah,
letters.
yeah,
There's 140 pages lost, and that's what we know as Dracula's Guest, but read it after
yeah,
you read Dracula. So, Enrique, you are having another live reading on your Facebook page that is Dracula's Place.
yeah.
When is this starting? How are you going to do it? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, thank you. In this obsessively pursuing of me of translating Dracula into the media, I came up with this idea, as I told you, to translate it into Facebook. So anyone can read right now. This is the 5th year that I'm doing this in real time. So the novel the story began on May the 3rd. So Monday is May the 3rd. And it runs to November the 6th. Yeah. So what happens in November the 3rd, you're going to read it on Facebook on November the 3rd. So what happens in November 4th, it happens on Facebook on November 4th. So that's the beauty of Facebook.
Okay.
That's the beauty of Facebook, because just moments ago, before we connect each other today, I just programmed it the entire week. of the novel because I programmed the post for the third of the fourth. In the May the 5th, we have two different posts. So I posted one in the morning and later during the week.
But you're going to be reading the novel?
Oh?
You're going to be reading the novel, or you're going to like show people what's going on each day?
No, there are posts.
Okay.
Who has images.
Okay.
My illustrations. I illustrated the entire novel.
I remember that.
And the segment of the novel who happens in the same day.
Okay, awesome.
So it's a very, I would say, like a real-time reading story because I am taking the unabridged text of Dracula.
Oh my gosh!
And
I want that.
Adapted.
My hands are shaking.
Fully adapted into the. So let's see. Let me open one of them.
I want to see.
Yeah.
We're having the exclusive here before Enrique begins his reading on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can go to Dracula's Place is the Facebook page, so you can go support Enrique and check on his content. It has a lot of Dracula related research information. It's gonna blow your mind. Oh, there it is.
So look at this. No, and we have 3rd of May in here.
Yeah.
So this I copied this text and published it into Facebook.
Okay.
But with my illustrations.
Awesome. That's
and my
great.
Illustrations are truly based into the Stoker's work. So what I did is I found I made like a 2 years of visual research of images of the Victorian era, of images that represented to me Dracula. So I managed to grab the several images from all over the places, and I use some of them, and I adapted and I modified them, and I use them to tell Bram's story in
real time. That's really awesome. That's a lot of work. So people, you should go support Enrique. He's awesome. And actually, I've been wanting to ask you about something not novel related. Yep. Is that figurine that you made in collaboration with other artists from Mexico? Do you have that figurine there, or is it for sale? What is it? Because I saw it and I'm like, I bet a lot of
No, this is not the one.
No, the other one.
This is an amazing. Okay, as I am studying the transmedia, I needed to look into the merchandise, and I looked into the toys because as I told you, Dracula is being on all media. There are several action figures. Let me show you. I don't want to brag, but I am a
Please brag. No. That's why we're here.
No, but as I'm into this, this is part of my collection. So,
oh my gosh, I love it.
As you can see, most of it is Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi, of course.
No, most of these little figures are Bela Lugosi. Those are Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, I have my own Bela too, but I don't have much stuff.
This glove is from Transylvania, and you have Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi is Dracula.
This mug is from Transylvania, and you have Bela Lugosi. No,
so cool.
Bela Lugosi.
Bela everywhere.
Everything is Bela Lugosi, even the plush toys are Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, actually, look, this is my Bela Lugosi toy. It was a gift.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so beautiful. He's traveled so many miles with me. So everything is Bela. Actually, I think. Yeah, we all know that Nosferatu, we are lucky enough to see that movie because one of the copies was recovered from that big fire that they destroyed all the copies because of copyright things.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, Bela is Dracula. he
Bella
brought
is
it.
Dracula in so many ways. I
Yeah.
mean, let me show you. This is the Mexican Dracula. I have a couple of posters. Okay, this is the Mexican Dracula.
Oh yeah,
This is called the Vampiro, El Vampiro.
El Vampiro.
Yeah, but as you can see, it's Bela Lugosi.
It's Velad. It has the
It's the
same
same
emblem, the
thing,
same everything.
and you have it with El Santo, but we have it right here.
Oh,
So in a way, the work of Bram Stoker is lost in time. Not in a way, it's
in,
lost in time.
it's lost in time.
Completely lost in time. So I managed to found this statue. And this is amazing because this is an artist, I believe it is not signed, Randy, I will, I will let you know
Okay.
in a moment. But he did like only a limited edition of them, and I contact him and I was, man, you need to do this and in a big way because the Dracula of the novel need to surface, and that began because I as a graphic designer and I'm doing all these things for 4 years. My next step in the Dracula's place was to start designing things with Dracula. Let's say this.
Yeah. Oh, the black wolf, the gray
Yeah.
wolf that is not
And you
black.
have like this, no, it is very, these are my first,
Oh, that's really cool. And
there are
and
like this shirt, you know.
and do you have those items available in your shop or anything?
I began to start like experimenting with production techniques like this and that kind of
Okay.
stuff. And then I came up with some suppliers in the United States, and I began to develop all kind of merchandise of Dracula of the novel.
Okay. Okay.
Very closely. This is the first time there is merchandise of Dracula's novel. To be honest,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is
People.
no merchandise.
The Dracula universe from the novel is a parallel universe from the Dracula in the movies and
Definitely.
shows.
Definitely.
They have a lot of things in common,
Yeah.
but they are so different, so
Definitely.
different in so many ways.
Because the novel is very dark.
It is. It is very
being
dark.
the Inferno doll.
Actually, I get very inspired in the novel when I gotta like write the lyrics and stuff. One of the songs from my latest EP, Ghost Walls,
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about Dracula feeling love for someone.
Yeah.
But we'll never know if he ever really loved someone. So
For
yeah,
my he's a very satanic character. I mean, he
yeah,
made a pact
he's
with
a
the
devil
devil.
incarnate.
He made a pact with the devil. He went to the Scholomans.
He wants to the Scholomans. He
And
can.
that is a huge element of the narrative that has been lost in the movies.
Exactly. They don't tell you how he turned. He
No.
became Dracula. He wasn't beaten. He wasn't none of us. He was.
This is not a contagious thing. This is not a thing. He was
He was devil's student. He was
for power.
Yeah, and he was.
And the power is knowledge.
Yeah.
So he went into the Scholomans knowing that he was going to make a pact with the devil.
Yeah, he was the one who stayed behind because how many
10
students? Is 10 students and one remains and the other ones leave.
Yeah.
He left behind and that's why he's now Dracula.
And that is
Dracula is the devil incarnate.
Yeah, if you read the entrance of Van Helsing, I believe it's the 2nd of October, no, when he explained who is Dracula. This is because he told everything. He spilled the beans out there because he told us that he made a pact with the devil, that he is a necromancer. I mean, he
He can
can.
rise the dead from. Come on.
Man, what kind of character is that? And it is lost in time because we have now a very soft character who only want to seduce women in the night. I mean, I hate that version of Dracula. I love
Well,
Bela Lugosi.
it has its good sides. I mean, I
Yeah,
like that people sees Dracula as a good guy, but I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. He's different. He's
different.
different, and I think he was never until today understood. That's why he acted the way he act.
Yeah,
That's how I see it. It's like an outcast, like someone different,
yeah,
someone that comes from abroad, maybe from the future. I don't
yeah,
know. I think Dracula was located in the wrong period of
yeah,
time
yeah,
and he was never understood.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if anyone else like you and I and a lot of other people go down deep the rabbit hole, you will discover things about Dracula that you wouldn't like.
I mean,
I wasn't expecting anything of the things that I learned about Dracula
yeah,
today.
that is
And
amazing.
I find them fascinating. It's like this guy who doesn't really existed in real life, that was
Amazing.
something that someone created, but if it's good or evil, I leave it up to you. Like,
Yeah, like the reader.
yeah, like the reader. But yes, oh,
But
I loved it.
the thing is that I was so driven to bring Bram's work into the modern world using
Yeah,
the same techniques as a movie does, because a
yeah,
movie normally is not only the movie comes with a merchandise, and
yeah.
there are important tools for our culture. So as I told you, I used to work with toys. I used to work with
Yes,
license. So what I did is, man, this is a huge opportunity for me. I will create, and the first merchandise based on a Stoker novel. So I'm doing that. You can find it right now in thedraculastore.com. Yeah, and you will find all kind of products right now. We are launching the store in the May 10.
oh, nice, nice,
Yeah, but
nice, nice.
it is now open.
Okay, good
But
to know, good to know.
yeah, yeah, because we are launching. I'm launching the Facebook page Dracula's Place on Monday. So
Okay,
all week I'm going to be very very into it. And next week we are launching the store, but you can go there to the Dracula store, thedraculastore.com. And
draculastore.com.
yeah,
Cool.
and in working with providers and working with creators, to produce more Dracula things. There are several talented Mexican artists right here. I can see Javi Custom right here. Javier, hola Javier, te mando un
He
fuerte saludo. The
he
red one.
él te ayudó con.
He is awesome. He's awesome with the clothes.
Okay,
So
got it.
you need to go to his profile,
I will
because
definitely
he does clothing but for dolls.
for those.
This kind
Nice.
of
Yeah.
toys, action figures, very detailed. Like I lost the name. Oh man,
Oh,
¿cómo se llama? Estas figuras de acción que son muy detalladas, que se parecen al personaje perfecto. This Korean, I lost
I don't know.
and these custom 12-inch figures that are storming the world right now because of they are very detailed. So Javi is one Mexican artist who do that kind of job amazing. So he did the clothing for the figure. Then Andres Basurto, who is one of my best pals from the school, he is an amazing artist because he not only paint but he sculpts way
Oh,
and all.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
So he made the sculpture of this thing, and we collaborate with Eric.
I can't hear you. I
Eric
lost you
Serratos
there.
is an amazing. Eh?
Yeah, I see.
Sorry. Eric Serratos is an amazing stop motion animator.
Oh, he helped you with the video that I posted on my stories?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So we did a very powerful team because we have the sculpting, we have the clothing, we have the animator,
Hmm.
and I am behind checking that everything matches with the Stoker novel.
It's crazy. And I mean, it's
That
great what you guys are
actually,
doing.
this is a spoiler. That figure will go. We're ready to launch that figure for sale, and we I think for the second part of May.
But
Maybe I don't want to spoil anything, but for the
we have
26th.
the exclusive here. The
Yeah,
exclusive.
we are working so hard to bring back this, and I mean it is going to be very important for us to bring the first action figure based
On
in
this in the
of,
novel. And
yeah.
from the Dracula novels, which one is really weird to us? What's your favorite? Because they're all really good. But from the trilogy, as I called it, which one do you like the most?
I don't want to be rude, but I don't consider it a trilogy.
No,
For
I
me,
mean,
it's
it's
only
kind.
Dracula. I mean, I love Dacre's work, but
Mhm.
for me, is only
Dracula.
another artist who is expanding this universe the same way that Marnot did it with Nosferatu, the same
Exactly.
way that Lugosi did it with his face in the
In
31. So
Dracula.
I really don't consider it either. Yeah, I know that Dacre took from the notes some of the characters, but no, for me it's only one,
Dracula.
and that's it.
One and only
The
Dracula.
one and only.
And the Powers of Darkness, because we want to know how the Icelandic version of Dracula is, that I haven't read it
You
yet, but
need
it's
to
on
read
its
it.
way.
You need to
Yeah,
read it.
I ordered it like a couple of months ago, and it's still like in transit. And I'm like,
You're going
why?
to love it because you're going to be surprised in so many ways because you're going to revisit a very familiar place, but
In a
with
different
the
way.
strange new sensations.
Oh man, that's exciting. It's
Yeah,
really exciting. I've
yeah.
always wondered what would happen if Bram Stoker's Dracula, the novel, would have been big back then. Will the movies would be different or something like that? I
Definitely.
would I would love to see a movie that is more faithful to the book.
And,
I
and
don't know
and
if it ever gonna happen,
you know
but
what? Who started it all? This diversion? The
who?
widow.
The what?
The widow. Bram Stoker.
Oh, yeah,
If
it's
she
true.
if she uh, uh, instead of pursuing Murnau for
For
Nosferatu,
Nosferatu.
she collaborate with him
It would have
to
been so
adapt.
different.
Nosferatu will be the first adaptation because Murnau was very faithful to the work. You can see how Nosferatu resembles of the character,
Absolutely. It's
but
the
he needed
almost the exact description. Yeah.
to change things because of the widow.
Oh, I
That
see.
is
Well,
why he changed the ending of the dying of the son, and that is why everyone in the world assumes that Dracula dies from the sun.
but it's not true.
It is not true.
Shh.
It was a copyright issue.
Yeah, I know that, but anyways, we are lucky enough to have Nosferatu and all the other movies,
Yeah,
and we still have Dracula, and I think there are gonna be more Dracula books. I would love to learn and
yeah,
more about this
yeah.
character and everything. it fascinates me. I started with the movies when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started with the books, and I haven't stopped. And then I discovered Dracula's Plays, you reading with Dacre and everything. It's like, okay, I'm officially a Dracula nerd. I love it. Enrique, I want to thank you for your time today. I appreciate it very much. And everyone who's watching here live and watch later, I invite you to follow Enrique on his Facebook page. It's called Dracula's Plays. He has videos reading live the novel with Dacre and explaining all these details that we talk about today. And he's gonna start showing like graphics and stuff on Monday on real time as the novel progresses until November. And yeah, go follow Enrique, support him, and if you have questions about Dracula, you can ask them because he's more of an expert than I am. And
you
thank
are
you.
quite an expert. You are
I
quite
thank you.
you only doesn't have the academic title, but I
Yeah,
mean
I
you are quite
don't,
an
but
expert. I mean I have
thank
never
you.
been talking 1 hour and 20
1 hour
minutes
and a
with
half,
no one
almost.
in the world that fluently of Dracula. So you are very into this.
Oh, thank you. So when I'm in Mexico, I'll make sure to go visit you so we can have another long talk about
Definitely.
Dracula because it's a topic that I never get bored of. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Enrique, thank you so much. You've been amazing. And I hope I can have you here probably when you're like already doing these live
Please
things.
join me on Dracula's Place to have this kind of conversations, and we can do a collaboration.
Yeah, maybe we can do this on Facebook next time as
Definitely,
well. Yeah?
definitely. And you can start following Dracula's Place right now because today I publish Dracula's Guest as
Oh,
yesterday
awesome.
night was Walpurgis night. So
All right.
Dracula's Guest took place one day before
In Walpurgis.
Walpurgis night, and that opens this real time reading. So that
Yeah.
Dracula's Guest is already up there, but don't be fooled because Dracula's Guest is a long text, and
Yeah.
the adaptation is very short. Don't be scared because today's post is the entire Dracula's Guest chapter, but from starting Monday, it's very episodic, very easily to read.
Yeah, it's gonna be this baby over here. He's gonna
Yep.
show a very interesting graphics and stuff, so go follow him. Again, thank you, Enrique, and I hope to see you next time
Gracias, Laura.
soon. Que estés súper bien, cariños a todas
Hagamos
tus
uno en
mascotas.
español bien.
Sí, en Facebook, de repente, sería mejor. Dale,
Bueno,
saludos, bye bye.
chao. Thank you. Bye bye.